What's up, guys? D-Rock 1992 here. Uh, Yesterday, I watched the 1994 action flick Speed. Now, this movie has Keanu Reeves in it, Sandra Bullock, and Dennis Hopper as the main characters. Uh, and figuring out which person I want to talk about next for my About series actually wasn't that hard. I'm not gonna do Dennis Hopper because I've only seen a couple of his movies. I want to kind of see more in order to do a just about him. And Keanu Reeves, very famous actor, but I haven't. I don't think I've seen quite enough from him to really do one of those. So I'm gonna do my first actress about, and I'm going to do Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock is that girl next door type of actress. She's one that's, I think she has a friendly personality. Out in Hollywood, she's reputed to have a great personality. She is very congenial to her fans. She's just a very nice woman. Not a lot of controversy in her life. Not a lot of controversy caused by her, but actually her only husband, his name Jesse G. James. For those of you who don't know, he cheated on her with a tattoo artist. So that was a controversy in her life, not caused by her. But other than that, I mean, she is the girl next door. She is not a lot of controversy going on in her life. Now, on to her movie career. Starting in her first movie was in 1987. It was a movie called Hangman. I think she had a pretty small role in this movie. Nothing really special per se. I mean, one of those movies that's not very well known. You'll notice that a lot in my About countdown. A lot of these famous actors and actresses started out with, not well-known movies as their first film appearances. Very few have actually hit it big in their first movie. So, Hangman was her first movie. For a few years after that, she definitely went around, looking to establish herself in Hollywood. She was in a few different movies. 1993 comes about, and people started recognizing her name and recognizing her a little bit with a movie called Demolition Man. This is a science fiction film that I'd like to see it someday, but it has Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes in it, and Sandra Bullock in a supporting role. But this movie kind of, introduced her a little bit. But the next year, the movie Speed, as I was saying before, this was her breakout role. Her breakout. I mean, she became a superstar, or she became a very good actress with this movie. For those of you who don't know, the movie is about a madman who puts a bomb on a city bus, and this bus is supposed to, the bomb is supposed to explode. It arms, actually, and it does arm in the movie, if the speed of the bus goes above 50 miles an hour. If it goes below 50 miles an hour, kaboom, it detonates. This movie is very, very on-your-seat, action-packed popcorn flick for sure. This definitely established Sandra Bullock as a good actress. This definitely put her on the map. After Speed, she did a few other movies, 1996 in particular. There's a movie that I'm curious about that has a lot of stars in it that I like, called A Time to Kill. This movie, I mean, it has everybody pretty much. Matthew McConaughey, Sandra Bullock, Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Spacey. McConaughey, Jackson, and Spacey are going to be some that I talk about for sure. They'll come up later. Just an all-star cast in this movie. It's a drama film adaptation of a novel from 1989 from John Grisham. But this film definitely is another big one for Sandra Bullock. In 1997, she comes out with Speed 2 Cruise Control, which is the sequel to Speed. I think this has to do with boats, and but it absolutely, in no way, recaptured the magic of Speed. I think Speed got 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Speed 2 Cruise Control got 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty bad. She was the only one, actually, who reprised, the only major person who reprised her role. Dennis Hopper and Keanu Reeves did not return in this movie. After this, another big movie she did. I mean, she definitely established her fame with big movies in the 90s. That was when she came out for sure as a great actress. Miss Congeniality in 2000. This is a movie I watched actually about a month ago or so. And it has her as Agent Gracie Hart, and she has to stop. She's an undercover FBI agent, and she's assigned to stop a bombing, basically, of the winner of the Miss Pageant contest, the Miss USA pageant contest. She goes undercover as a Miss USA pageant contestant, and it's a very entertaining movie. It's funny, it's action packed, it's good, definitely. In 2004, she comes out with a movie called Crash. I think another one that's kind of well known. I mean, it has her in it, Don Cheadle, Matt Dillon, Michael Pena, Ludacris, the rapper. This definitely, I think, is another well-known one from Sandra Bullock. 2005, she comes out with the sequel to Miss Congeniality, Miss Congeniality 2, Armed and Fabulous. I want to watch this one. I definitely want to watch the sequel. I don't think it did as well as the first movie, but definitely something I want to definitely take a look at. 2009 was a big year for Sandra Bullock. Mostly good, definitely. Another movie that I have watched from Sandra Bullock, I've watched about 4 or 5. Speed Now, Miss Congeniality, The Proposal, The Blind Side, and The Heat. 2009, she comes out with The Proposal, one of her movies she comes out with, and she plays a boss stars alongside Ryan Reynolds, who I probably will be talking about. Even though I haven't watched very many movies from him, I'll still probably talk about him. But anyway, she plays a Ryan Reynolds character's boss. And in order to escape being deported back to Canada, because she's not a citizen of the U.S., she has to pretend to get married to Ryan Reynolds' character. She has to marry him in order to, it's a green card marriage all the way, and they go through the adventure there. The adventure goes on in this movie. It's a very good movie. I really liked it a lot when I watched it. The next two movies hold some significance. The Blind Side in 2009 starred her as a mother who adopts this prospective football player who adopts this guy on the streets, this big black man on the streets, and the guy is slated to go to the NFL. This could be a career decision for the guy, definitely. It is a semi-biographical sports drama film. This actually is the character, the big black guy that I was talking about is a guy, let me see here, the actor. Quentin Aaron is his name. He plays Michael Big Mike O'Hare, who actually is, in real life, an offensive lineman who plays for the Tennessee Titans in the NFL. So Sandra Bullock plays the mother of, the adopted mother of this man, and she kind of coaxes him into the NFL. Certainly, she's a deciding factor in getting him into the NFL, and this is a really good film. And it won Sandra Bullock an Academy Award. I mean, this movie is probably one of her best, if not her best. I mean, it's a really good, emotional, good sports drama film for sure. And I like it because it's about football, and football is one of my favorite sports. But yeah, she got the Academy Award for it. All About Steve was another movie that she came out with in 2009, and she starred in it with Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper was one of the stars in the movie. She plays a stalker woman who's after, I think, Bradley Cooper's character, or something like that. This movie, she wins a Razzie Award for Worst Supporting Actress. Razzies are the opposite of Academy Award, of Oscars. Razzie Awards are the worst of the worst, pretty much. And she is the only actress, the only person in history to win a Razzie and an Oscar in the same year. That is, that's sort of definitely not great to have that record, but not great to be the only person to have that because of the Razzie, but good because of the Academy Award. I believe she took her Razzie in person. She accepted her Razzie, which I don't think a lot of actresses do. They don't accept Razzie Awards. I think, it's mainly because you put an effort into a movie that turns out to be bad. You're upset about it, pretty much. But she was willing to go over there, and she probably joked about it. Speaking of which, she really did not like Speed 2 Cruise Control, the sequel to Speed. She denounced that movie. She said she regretted being in it, which pretty much says it was a dog shit movie. Pretty much. But in 2013, she was pretty busy as well. She starred in the comedy The Heat along Melissa McCarthy, who is also going to be on this list. Her and Melissa McCarthy star. She's an FBI agent, and Melissa McCarthy's character she's a special agent, Sandra Bullock's is. And Melissa McCarthy is a tough-ass Boston police officer. Or Boston detective police officer. And they have to uncover this big scheme, this big drug scheme. And the villain in this movie is definitely very well known. Well, not extremely known in SNL history, Taran Killam, currently on the cast of Saturday Night Live. He is the main villain in this movie, which is kind of cool, definitely. But a very good, a very good movie all on its own. It definitely, it was a great watch. I would recommend it to anybody. Also, the movie that won the Academy Award for Best Picture last year was Gravity. The two to really kind of talk about here are Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. Clooney's going to be a guy I talk about probably. But they're two people in outer space. Chaos erupts. And, it's a fight for survival, basically, up in space. And that's pretty much Sandra Bullock's career in movies. I mean, I probably have left out a lot of good movies that she's been in. I just kind of described the ones that I know about or have watched. So if I did miss a movie that, you want to kind of give a shout out to, please comment below. The movie that's coming out that she's going to be in, there's only one really that she's going to be slated. It's going to be slated to come out in 2015. It is the spin-off / prequel to the Despicable Me movies. There's two of the Despicable Me's, and it's called Minions. It's those little yellow guys, yellow minions. Sandra Bullock is going to be a main villain in the film. What it says is that basically the minions have to compete to be the henchmen for Sandra Bullock's character, Scarlet Overkill. Sandra Bullock is in this movie, and John Hamm is also in this movie as the husband of Sandra Bullock's character. So look for that out next year, July 10th of 2015. Not really a whole lot of television to really talk about with Sandra Bullock. She's definitely a film actress all the way. The one definitely to take a look at, in 1990, actually, in her attempt to break through in Hollywood, she came out with a TV series called Working Girl, but it only had 12 episodes and one season before it got canceled. So that kind of failed for her. In 3 episodes of the show George Lopez, which is off the air currently, but is on syndication and on Nickelodeon, Nick at Night, I think. It's a show I've watched. I like George Lopez, the show. She plays a girl named Accident Amy. Pretty funny. It's Sandra Bullock is known for her physical comedy. So definitely the show definitely has that. She's in 3 episodes of the show, and she's also the executive producer. She also had a hand in creating the show. So it was, that definitely is a good thing. But other than that, that's it. That is Sandra Bullock's film career. She is an outstanding example of how to behave in Hollywood. You have a lot of these actresses that are bad eggs in Hollywood. She's an example of what it is to be the right person, to do the right things, and stay quiet in Hollywood and just do her job, make movies, and be a great actress, pretty much. So that's it for my video on Sandra Bullock. D-Rock 1992 out.